Give it a minute, see if anybody pops in. I'm not gonna share this one out or anything, just gonna roll it out, be done with it. But we'll give it a minute, see who pops in, who doesn't. See, somebody just came in, probably my YouTube sponsor censor. Make sure I don't say anything off YouTube's okay authorized list. When 2021 is 1984 in a brave new world. All right, so we'll get rolling here. So, I guess the title says, got a little project I've been working on for the Ryft. Have this SSD motor sitting here, and headers and a few things, 3D printed headers that I got when I bought the motor, and bought the kit actually. Bought the headers for the motor, but just never got it installed in the other rig that I had. But anywho, had this sitting around and thought, hey, let's add some scaleness to the Ryft. So I put the motor together and tried to mock it up to the original Spur cover. And originally, as you can see, tried trimming the Spur cover to fit somewhat. You can kind of see how it would go a little bit. But didn't quite work out, actually. Didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. Just would have been way too floppy, no good way to mount. So I ordered a new Spur cover, got one in black, so it's a little more dark, a little more hidden. Up under, tucked up underneath everything where it's kind of darker and you can't see anyways. Yet. But decided to add a little scale look, and I've been told as I put the thing that yes, they are front motor rigs, they're not rear motor rigs. Motor is supposed to be up front, everything's exposed. It's still going to be exposed, but this is going to be a mid motor. I'm more of a rear motor, rear mid motor, but that's okay. It's going to work out good. But some kind of a couple things. I did some painting. The black lines are to kind of show like a gasket, if you will. Kind of crude looking, supposed to be a little dirty already, you know, like it's been used and in there. Painted the blocks with just testers paints like you'd use for a regular car model. And just put it all together and had some SSD scale hardware bolts, as you can see in the headers. There it kind of clarifies, cleared up a little bit, focused the tab. There we go. Both sides, of course, got some scale bolts there. I still got to take the air cleaner off and paint the carburetor area. I'm going to paint that up and add a little bit of linkage. Just to add a little bit of scale detail on the top of the motor, make it look like it's got carb linkages, and I may even try to add some hoses. Probably try to fabricate a few just straight pipes coming straight off the back. Maybe try to do something where they come up. I doubt it. I thought about maybe flipping these over and having them come up, and then putting exhaust, you know, tip out the back or something. I might redo that at some point. Don't know. But for now, this works out actually pretty well. Don't know if you'll be able to see it too well, but you should. What I did to mount this is I had to trim the motor and the oil pan about a 1/4 inch, 1/3 of an inch off the back, right to the top of the head area almost. I did that on the cases, put the cases together, figured out where I had to trim it, wanted to bring it up a little bit, put the heads so they fit right on top of the gear cover. And then I drilled a hole and ran a bolt through there and then put a washer and a nut on top here before I mounted the put the heads on, and then, got those glued on, long bolt, washer through the gear cover, through the hole in the head area with a washer and a nut to help hold the motor to the gear cover pretty tight without really deforming the gear cover much at all. You don't want to put too much pressure on there and deform it. You won't be able to get it on the case. Did that on both sides. And then on the lower side, up on this side, did the same thing. Took a time or two to see a couple different holes. 1 or 2 times to get it in the right spot, right angle. And then this one, there you go. This one here comes out to the front, obviously, and gives us a drain plug. But it also secures the bottom of the engine oil pan to the cover. So that ain't going anywhere. I mean, it's solid. It's going to bounce and nothing's going to go. The plug wires are just bent up colored paper clips. Took a paper clip, folded it out straight, gently, trying not to crease or screw it up. I got a couple spots where it's a little split. And I'll probably just add a touch of paint in there, but it'll be fine. You won't really see it. Not that closely where details be that deal. But yeah, just took a paper clip, any color you want. I use yellow to kind of give it that cell look. Got a center coil wire right here. It's coil wire on it. This one coming out right there, dropping down inside. I'm gonna build a small coil. Take some, might try to 3D print something, or I'll probably just take some black plastic off a piece of scrap from a build, from a build tree, and whittle out. Take my knife and grinder and whatever, and whittle out a small coil. Glue it down there. Put this back up here. Readjust. It's about 1 o'clock at night. Yeah, about 12 actually, 12:20, 12:30, something like that. What does it say? 12:15. So I'm in my can't sleep points. But I figured, okay, well, take this and try to work it in and see how we're going to do that now. I can't bring it in through the bottom, but I should be able to get it in through the top here now. They got help, so I do want to kind of pull it back out right away. But maybe not because of the extra stuff I got on it now. Maybe a bit of a trick. So I may end up having kind of take it off to put it in. Let's see if I can do it upside down. No, I'm going to have to kind of disassemble a bit. Ooh, did they just drop off there? Oh, okay, just the screw. And they're tight, but yes, I can get the screws in and out. And screwed into the cover. Like I said, it's a tight fit, but it's a fit. It goes in. I'm just going to work this in place and get her down in there. But yep, it's looking like I'm going to have to pop her apart real quick. I was hoping I'd be able to get her into the top, but doesn't look like I am going to be able to. There, bring her in for a better close-up. You see the coil wire loop coming down, just loop sitting there right now. This end right here, just kind of setting down inside. Just gentle, slow bending, working with my fingers, a small pair, no needle, no pliers. A little bit of E6000, gently, just a small dab, work around the end of the wires, and then a little dab on the engine block. If you look close, you can see it's a little boogery, but no big deal. But overall, I was going to do a little white and you know, take a piece of black. There we go. There, finally colored. Take a piece of black. Heat shrink. Just a small little sliver and slip it over there, and I still might do that just to add that, you know, plug cap look. But I think that's going to work out great. But yeah, it does look like I am, because of this light bar. Okay, there's a way I can do this. We can go like this. Now this can come up. Yeah, I guess it can't come up too much more. Tightened up. Yeah, I've seen people, you know, starting to do light bars on the outside and stuff. And I thought, not bad, but that's gonna, you know, get broken. You take a lot of abuse. So actually, let me do it this way. Got much there to do it that way. This way, that's one there too. A little bit more. No, I want it to come up from the bottom because of the headers and the quote unquote flywheel. They're not going to go down from the top, so I'll have to bring her up from the bottom. All right, that's kind of what I was wondering when I did get her kind of put together that way. She might need to come apart a little bit just to do it. So hopefully I don't have too many problems. Got a 15 tooth in there right now. Come on, you dog. But so yeah, it is gonna be a little better to get in and out. Not gonna be the easiest deal, but for scale points, it's gonna be hard to beat. It's gonna look pretty damn smoking in there, and it should sit about like this. I may end up trimming this front piece right here, right out, just this little cover spot. I may trim that spot, probably going to right along their arms, come down, trim right along their arm spot on both sides, and trim that little bastard right on out of there. Because it is going to push and have a little bit of problem in there. And it's going to actually push up a little bit because of the wires. That's all right. It'll allow that. It was already in the way, so that should get that out of there. I may even trim a little bit more out so it sits down there. They may lose a little arm area. But anywho, general concept should work out pretty decently. And because I still have a little bit more work to do, and a little bit more painting to do, I'm not going to take it apart and put her in. I'll save that for later. So I'm going to kill it right here at a little bit about 14 minutes there and go from there. So hey, thanks for joining. Hit that like, subscribe, share. Help me grow the channel. Subscribe to me. If you got a channel you put out videos, I'll come over. I'll subscribe to you. Grow each other's channels and see if we can get ourselves all monetized and make some of the YouTube chew later.